Well, hello there all you beautiful gamers, and welcome to this video for Starbound, featuring content from the official release of Starbound, version 1.0 something. So continuing from where we left off last time, our traveller had dug underground after beaming down to a foreign planet, which he was forced onto after the destruction of Earth. As well as exploring the planet, he was digging down to find an energy source for an ancient artifact. There's also some other things that he's not considered, so we'll be seeing that and more this episode. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll speak to you again at the end.
So much slime everywhere, and so many monsters.
Our traveller was determined to find the archaic energy source, even if that meant slipping around mountains of goo.
This doesn't feel very stable. I feel like if I'm not careful, then I'm going to get swallowed by the slime. But hopefully I'll hit a hard surface soon.
And before long he was using his newly found pickaxe to chip away at the surface below the layers of slime.
This pickaxe is great. I can dig much faster than the matter manipulator, but it doesn't feel very solid. I think it might break soon. But hopefully I can get enough of these core fragments so I don't have to stay down here anymore.
As another traveller had already told him, core fragments were the key to powering an ancient artifact. An artifact more powerful than anything he had ever seen on Earth, though it was not clear what this artifact looked like or even did, just that it needed a source of power.
I've probably got enough of these core fragments now, but there's just something about that glowing over there that makes me want to explore a little bit more. Phew! It's so hot down here. Oh, I need to be careful. Because even though that looks like my favourite soup flavour, tomato, if I fall into it, I'm the one that's going to be eaten.
Carefully treading deeper and deeper into the caverns, and building makeshift bridges above lava pools, our traveller seemed to be taking unnecessary risks, all in the name of exploration.
I think I'm getting better at building these bridges, and they feel much more solid when you build them out of stone. Phew, I am literally sweating now. I don't think I can go much deeper down, at least not without being cooked.
Boldly venturing where no protector had ventured before, it seemed as though his dig was about to come to an anticlimactic ending.
It doesn't look like I can dig any deeper. I think I'm just going to follow this bridge a little bit more and see what's in the distance. If there's nothing there, then I might go back. Dum-de-dum-de-dum, building bridges over lava. Dum-de-dum-de-dum, won't be going too much farther.
For someone who had literally just lost everything, and was only inches away from a terrifying pool of lava, our traveller was in high spirits. He eventually made his way back up to the surface, realising that he had not eaten or drunk anything in quite some time.
Ah, that breeze feels so nice, but I really need to eat and drink now. Ship, sweet ship. Uh-oh, looks like I've only got one tin of food left. I think the best thing to do is set up a workshop on the ship, and then beam back down to the planet and do the same there. I should be able to do basic crafting in both places. And then if I build a simple farm, then that should keep me going for the next few days.
And so even though our traveller had acquired the core fragments and was ready to find the ancient artifacts, he would not survive much longer without a source of food. And blissfully unaware that there was no food remaining on the ship, his little kitty cat slept quietly, purring softly in time with the ship's backup generator.
Okay, kitty, I'll be back soon. You amuse yourself for a while. Oh, now comes the boring task of building a farm. But I don't remember seeing any flat surfaces where I could do this, so I think I'm going to have to do some more digging.
and with his matter manipulator, our traveller began the long and difficult task of levelling off the land, ready for his collection of vegetable seeds.
So much dirt everywhere. I wish there was someone here to help me. This is so boring. I think I preferred it when I was inches away from lava. I probably need a song to keep me in high spirits, but I can't think of one. Right then, it's finally time to till the land. And maybe I can turn this dirt into something useful.
Having studied Earth's agricultural history, our traveller possessed the necessary knowledge to set up and maintain a small vegetable garden.
Okay then, so I can grow some pearl peas, and some rice, a few stalks of corn. I can already think of things that I can make with all this stuff. Some wheat so I can make tasty bread. I don't think this one's food, but I'll plant it anyway. And finally, one of my favourites, potatoes!
After planting the various vegetable seeds in the newly tilled soil, he grabbed his watering can and began to water them.
After all that boring stuff, I finally get to the fun part. Watering them! Yay!
To protect against gusts of wind and various pests on this planet, he built a crude back wall out of soil.
I don't know if this is going to be strong enough, but hopefully it'll do for now.
He eventually decided that this vegetable garden needed to be bigger, so he carved out extra space for more crops. Unfortunately, there was one thing he had not learnt in history class. Torrential rains would destroy crops of food, and he had neglected to include a roof and an adequate drainage system.
Oh, this is terrible. Everything's ruined. I should have realised that I was sitting in a potential swimming pool. Things just go from bad to worse.
After spending the early hours of the morning getting rid of all the water that had filled up his beautiful new vegetable garden, our traveller set to work on a basic drainage system.
So if I just keep digging down, I should eventually hit a small cave, and then I can dig my way back up from there. I can't imagine how difficult this would be without the right tools.
And eventually he found the small cave and made his way back up to the surface. Full of enthusiasm and ready to redesign his vegetable garden.
So if I block this place off, I can probably carve out a safe place. I put a sleeping bag and a fire down, with a small roof above my head. That should protect me from the rain and the monsters. But first things first, I need to build a roof over the vegetable garden and finish off the drainage system. Hopefully this shouldn't take too long.
And so once again, our traveller spent near half a day working on his project. Determined to get it right this time, he didn't stop even for a minute until everything was completed.
It's almost there, but something doesn't quite look right here. I think if I move the fire, and then get rid of these blocks here, I'll be able to get in and out easy, and by the looks of it, the water will flow right down. I'll just add a few blocks so I don't fall down as well.
With the updated version of his vegetable garden nearly completed, he lay down his sleeping bag and a small fire, confident that that would keep him warm during the night.
This seems okay, I guess. I just need to put a roof over me so I don't get wet now as well.
Our traveller was on the verge of starvation, so he went foraging for vegetables and hunting the various creatures for meat.
Hopefully this should tide me over until my vegetables grow. I'll just cook some of this stuff ready for when I wake up.
And so he cooked the vegetables and meat on his fire. Exhausted from a night and day's worth of work, he hopped into the cozy sleeping bag and slept for a full day.
Looks like I forgot to re-water these crops. Time for me and my trusty watering can to water the crops again. I hope these grow soon because I really don't have much food left.
So he watered the crops, whilst listening to the pitter-patter of the rain above him and humming a cheerful melody.
Okay then, so it looks like I'm done here now.
And so with his crops watered once again, our traveller made his way towards the ancient artefact that he had discovered previously but not yet interacted with.
How can these creatures be so cute but so vicious? But then all the friendly creatures are so weird looking. Maybe I'm just not being very fair. I don't know. Looks can be deceiving, I guess. And Mum and Dad always used to say, it's not what something or someone looks like that makes them nice, it's how they treat others.
Our traveller was beginning to realise that the lessons learned back on Earth seemed to apply on this new foreign planet, and were no doubt the reason he was surviving.
I remember the first time I saw this ancient artefact. It almost looked like a gate to another world. And although it kind of looked like a castle, it was clearly made by people from different worlds. The computer told me that it was picking up an unknown radio signal. The voice on the other side told me that I'd found an ancient gateway, and that I could power up the gateway with core fragments.
It seemed as though our traveller had wasted a lot of time trying to get this gateway up and running, and indeed he had spent a lot of time on this planet, learning how to defend himself, how to dig efficiently, how to gather food and other resources, and how to protect himself from the planet itself. But he was still no closer to getting the answer to why Earth was destroyed.
I remember before I found this ancient gateway, there was a group of bandits. I unknowingly wandered into their camp, and they didn't notice me. They were too busy giving each other compliments and blowing each other kisses. They all had weapons out and they all looked rather scary, so I didn't take any chances. I snuck up really close to them and I started throwing spears at them. When they realised where the spears were coming from, I started backing away, but carried on throwing spears anyway. I figured that I might get lucky and hit them before they hit me. And despite them having more high-tech weapons than I did, I still managed to take all three away, with tactics that I learned at the Protectorate. At the time I thought I was lucky, but it turns out I was trained perfectly for this situation.
So our traveller seems to have made quite a bit of progress this time round. He's turned from a victim into a true survivor, and judging by what's on screen right now, it looks like we're only moments away from figuring some stuff out. And again, it takes a lot of effort to make these episodes, so I really do hope you've enjoyed it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, then give it a thumbs down. If you want to see more videos, then press the subscribe button to receive notifications of all new videos. You've been watching Derek Deagle, also known as Desert Eagle Derek. See you next time.